I'm the last one. Jesus Christ, it's been a long evening, hasn't it? It's almost been long enough to get served at the bar, hasn't it? Really, that's not part of my act. I was just really annoyed because somebody was having a cocktail before I was in there. So, hello everybody, hello. This isn't, I should say, this isn't my first time on the stage. I am an international rock star. That's probably more than that warranted. Sorry. I am an international rock star. I've managed to avoid two of the main pitfalls of international rock stardom, though. The two things that pull most people down, those being fame and money. And I've done quite well there. One of the ways I've managed to do that is that the kind of music I play. Would anyone care to guess what kind of music I play? Just from looking at me? Urban grime, sir? No, not urban grime. Electronic hip-hop? No, not electronic. It's indie, isn't it? It's not indie music, Jesus Christ. For those who don't know what indie music is, it's like, you know, the pop music that everybody likes. It's like that, but nobody likes it. That's basically what it is. But I didn't always realise that. I thought I was a rock star for a very long time. So me and my band, we got ourselves some gigs with an actual real live rock band. That real live rock band was called Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction. So are you aware? And if people are you aware of Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction? For people who don't know what Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction are like, if you can imagine what a band called Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction might be like, that's what they were like. It was basically the sound that a 3-year-old pair of unwashed leather underpants might make. That's what they sounded like. And of course we played them. We died on our fucking arses. We don't need to go into that any further than that. But we stayed around to watch them. They gave us a masterclass in rock and roll. Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction. They came on because we died because we had songs called things like "I Like Your Girlfriend." And She's Nice, and they had songs called Fucked by Rock. That's what they had, Zodiac Mind Warp and Reaction. Their big hit was called Prime Mover. And they came on and they did Prime Mover first. It was amazing. Sheer rock and roll. They then did Prime Mover 8 more times. As far as I'm not an expert, but it seems to me they did it 8 more times. Did the set, came to the great grand end of the set, did Prime Mover 3 more times, and then went off a stage to enormous applause. The entire room went absolutely fucking mental. People were banging their feet on the ground, clapping, cheering, shouting. It was a masterclass of rock and roll because then they did not come back on stage. People were shouting. They did not come. I thought, this is very good. This is amazing, this has happened. The applause rose again, people were chapping, going, still, Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction did not come back on stage. It was incredible. The third time around when it happened, the sound of cheering and clapping ebbed slightly, and I heard a small noise going. Coming from the fire escape. Because what happened is the Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction had gone off in triumph through the fire exit. So I was next to it, so I went and opened the fire escape door, and there was Zodiac Mind Warp himself, stood mid-knock. Now, Zodiac Mind Warp had indeed been fucked by rock over his long career in rock and roll. He did not look quite the crazy lizard king we've been watching on stage. He actually looked like a quite poorly little old man, just stood there. The whole illusion of rock and roll was hanging in the balance at this point. We looked at, as an audience, we looked at Zodiac Mind Warp. Zodiac Mind Warp looked at us. What would he do to save the day? What he did was go, rock! Came back on stage and played Prime Mover 3 more fucking times. It was amazing. And I'd like to think I've taken that kind of learning experience in rock and roll along with me on my career, especially when I had my own international hit record. I have had an actual international hit record. My song was called Hey Hey 16K. Has anybody here heard of that song?
Not as such.
No. That's kind of the reason for the whole fame and money thing earlier on. I think, Chris, can we play a snippet of this? We bought it to help with your homework. We bought it to help with your homework. That's probably enough, isn't it? As I say, like the music that people likes, but nobody likes it. But the trouble was, that song, Hey Hey 16K, available on Spotify if you don't want to pay for it now, it's about the home computing boom of the early 1980s. So everybody who liked that song, it came out on the internet 10 years ago, before the internet was rubbish. Also known as before my mum got on Facebook. So what happened was the only people on the internet 11 years ago, in fact, when that came out, were computer geeks. So we had what is known as an underground hit record. underground hit record because everybody who listened to it worked in a basement, basically. When that came out, the trouble is there was no way to monetize it. This isn't actually any jokes now. This is just me venting. A thing that happened to me. So excuse me. This is along with the cocktail. So what happened was there was no YouTube, there was no iTunes, there was no Spotify. There was no way to make any money out of putting your record out on the internet. And somebody pointed this out to me a couple of years ago. I was doing a gig and they introduced me and said, "Hey, it's Mark. Yeah, he had a massive 2 million people downloaded our song for free." And he said, "The thing about Mark is, if that happened 5 years later, he would have been a millionaire. But he's never been bitter about it." Actually, I'd never thought about it until that point. Now that's very different now. But we did get some exciting things. We got some crazy gigs booked. We actually went and played a retro gaming convention. I was going to say, has anybody been? But the fact that you went woo says no. No, you've never been to one. A retro gaming convention is when people go and play the old computer games, like the ZX Spectrum games and the Atari games, in a room together. And, yeah. And so we turned up for this, and as soon as we arrived, it was fantastic. It was like being Bono or something, because everybody knew exactly who I was. They were going, "Oh, that's him over there." I mean, to be fair, I was wearing this T-shirt. It's a trick I picked up from Bono. He's got one like this. Bono's T-shirt just says "prick." And I kissed every woman in the room. Oh yes, and she didn't mind. That was fine. And we came on stage and we did our song "Hey Hey 16K," and the room again went absolutely crazy. People were actually really literally standing on tables, bouncing around, going mad. It was amazing. The best things I've ever done. We then did 8 songs not directly relevant to the home computing boom of the 1980s. To absolute stone silence. But as I say, I have been trained in international rock and roll. I did know what I was doing, and what I did was I played a Hey Hey 16K one more time, shouted the word rock, and fucked off into the fire escape. Thank you very much. Good luck.